All right, at this time, ladies and gentlemen, we would like to begin our monument dedication ceremony. Our county historian, Mr. James Dillon. This time I would like to welcome everyone to our monument dedication ceremony. Before we begin the program, many people who have worked tirelessly to make this event a success that I would like to take just a few moments to recognize. On behalf of our monument that we will be unveiling here in just a few moments, Apex Construction, Greg Brock, J. Daniel Gillespie Sr., Dean Gillespie, and Ryan Dunlap. Bolden and Lawson, Mark Long, and Teddy Jones. Bridgestone Firestone, Warren County Plant. The City of McMinnville, David Rutherford, Carlene Brown in the Parks and Recreation Department, Bill Brock in the Public Works Department. Custom Granite Interiors and Kevin Burnett. Custom Marble Design, Daylily Nursery and Tim Hitchcock. Design Innovation, Lance Champion. Gerdeau Ameristeel. Irving Materials Incorporated, Ricky Boren, John Curtis, the General Manager of IMI Tennessee, and Mark Deason, IMI Area Sales. McMinnville Electric System, Southland Brick and Block, Tri-State Development, Keith Bolden, the Warren Farmers Co-op, Carol Cantrell, my right hand. Without Carol, thank you. George Christian, and also working with George, a young man that I would like to give special recognition to here today, Garrison Holmes. Garrison, are you here in the crowd today? Raise your hand if you're here. Garrison, thank you so much for the work on our monument. A wonderful job. And last but certainly not least, Jane Flatt. Jane, thank you so much. These are individuals who have either worked directly or indirectly donated materials, who have helped to make the monument a reality, and other programs that they have been involved with to help us. Also at this time, special recognition to our Warren County Commission for funding our Bicentennial. Commissioners that we have in the audience with us today, would you please raise your hand for special recognition, or stand if you are seated. Warren County Commissioners. Ladies and gentlemen, this would not be possible today without our Warren County Commission and the funding that they provided. Thank you so much. Our participating banks for underwriting the Coens, and many, many others. I would like to give special thanks to our Bicentennial Steering Committee Chairman, James Dillon, who also serves as our county historian, and who also, Mr. Dillon, worked during the celebration of our sesquicentennial as well. Mr. Dillon, without you, this process would not have been possible, and the events of today are happening in large part because of your efforts. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give James Dillon a round of applause, please. Our Bicentennial Executive Committee, and this committee also is composed of Mr. Dillon, Larry Flatt, Jimmy Haley, and myself. Jimmy, Larry, and James, there aren't words. For 18 months, along with the steering committee, who I'm going to recognize in just a moment, these group of individuals have worked tirelessly on different projects and programs and bringing all of these events together. So our executive committee, Mr. James Dillon, once again, Larry Flatt, Jimmy Haley, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. Our steering committee, again, individuals who have met weekly, if not 2 times a week or more, taken on task, given up time with their families, and have worked whatever task came up that needed to be done. They were willing to work and go and make sure that it was accomplished. Our Bicentennial Steering Committee is composed of Bruce Atnip, Pat Bigby, Ricky Burks, Kevin Dunlap, Jane Flatt, Jimmy Haley, Carolyn Lance, Helen Martin, George McLaughlin, Reba Prater, and Wayne Wolford. Let's please give this group of individuals a round of applause. And finally, all the citizens of Warren County who have served on various committees, who have responded when called, when asked if they would be willing to serve or help with a task, said yes. What do you need? Truly, what Warren County is was on display during our bicentennial celebration. A spirit of cooperation, tireless effort from these individuals, and a can-do spirit. There was never a time or a situation when things were questioned, could they be done? We knew that the task would be completed and that we would arrive at our final destination here today. So to all of you who have worked to help our bicentennial such a tremendous success, thank you from the bottom of my heart. And to all of our citizens, thank you for being here today. Give yourselves a round of applause, please. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we have several special guests on our stage with us today that we are honored to have. And at this time, I would like to make just a few introductions. Some of these individuals I will introduce a little later in the program. But we are very proud today and blessed to have with us on the stage many of our local, state, and federal elected officials, along with the others, as I stated, that I will introduce later. Each of these individuals will be coming to the microphone in just a moment to make comments, and we thank them so much for taking time out of their busy schedule and their holiday weekend to be with us. U.S. Congressman Lincoln Davis. State Senator Steve Roller. State Representative Charlie Curtis. And State Representative Judd Matheny. At this time, I would like to ask a dear friend of mine to come to the podium. And if I might take just a moment in introduction. He has an office here in Warren County, and he has a staff, Justin, Sammy, and Beecher, that I can call about any issue that comes up. They're never further away than the phone. And anything that Warren County needs, this gentleman is there for our needs. The latest accomplishment that I credit to this individual, and I'm so proud that will be happening hopefully before 2008 concludes, will be the opening of our new VA clinic, which we are so excited about. Now, certainly there are a lot of individuals that have played a role in this, but primarily I give the credit to the individual that is on the stage with us today, that among many, many other things that he is responsible for. He truly is a friend to Warren County, and I am proud to say he is my dear friend, Congressman Lincoln Davis.
John, thanks very much. It's certainly good to be here. As I look out across this mall, it looks almost like looking out at the mall at Washington when I look out across the mall in Washington. But look at the folks that are here today, celebrating the 200th anniversary of Warren County. As I heard the ringing of the bell by James Dillon, that bell 200 years ago was not a Liberty Bell, it was the dinner bell. At about this time, 200 years ago and 100 years ago and 75 years ago, when the wife or the mother at home got dinner ready about lunchtime, we call it lunch today, but it was dinner time when you were working the fields, that bell would ring. If it rang any other time, it meant there was an emergency. My brother got kicked by a mule as he was about 3 years of age, and that bell started ringing at 3 o'clock, and the neighbor said, either Doyle is having a late dinner today, or something tragically has happened today with his residents, and he came rushing to help perhaps save his life. So when we ring the bell today, it has different meanings to us. But to me, today especially, it is the Liberty Bell of Warren County, and for the 200 years that you celebrate. I could probably speak a whole lot longer than most of you would want me to and lose every vote in the audience for those that I may have, so I won't be very long in my presentation. We don't realize today how lucky we are to be called Americans. I hadn't traveled much until I became a congressman, but I've been to Iraq on 6 different occasions and to Afghanistan 3 different times, visiting our troops and talking with the diplomats there, finding out exactly what's happening and how can we be successful here. I knew that when I went into those countries, that when God put my soul in my body at conception, I was born an American citizen. It's one of the greatest blessings I could have. I was even blessed greater than that too, because I was born in the Cumberland Mountains. I look at the range just a little bit south of here and east of here and see the Cumberland Plateau. We all are lucky that we were born in the part of the state that we were born in, part of this nation, and being born an American citizen. In 1775, we had commissioned an army for this country after the shot heard around the world to where we could become independent. And by 1776, on the 4th day of July, we declared our independence. But prior to that, we had a battle, what they call the Siege of Boston. We assumed that we could take Washington's ragtag army of volunteers and we could run away the British. Well, the British decided to leave on their own. We thought they left because we'd whipped them. We go to New York to face them again, and as they came up to the river and their battleships and started firing at us, we learned a new battle strategy that day. It was called, we learned how to run. But by 1777, we had won the first battle at Saratoga, and by 1781, Cornwallis had surrendered, where it all begun at Yorktown. That history of our soldiers then, and the history of those who fought in World War I and World War II, in Vietnam and in Korea, and today in the battlefield of the sands of the Middle East and in Central Asia. It's that type of individual that has given us the liberty and freedom that we enjoy today, and that we can say, we're blessed, we're truly blessed, that God put our soul in the body, in our bodies, at conception, and we were born an American citizen. It is It has been a wonderful opportunity for me, being from Pall Mall in the Cumberland Mountains, to serve as your congressman. When I realize what our veterans have done, it has become necessary for some of us to be sure that we fight for those veterans who've served our nation. That's one of the reasons you have the VA clinic here. We had 11 that was authorized in America, 6 in Tennessee, and because I have such a huge district, 3 of those were located in this congressional district. To the veterans, thank you. God has blessed us, but may God bless you for what you've done to be sure we have the liberty and freedom that we have. And to Warren County, you couldn't have a better day. 1.5 inches rain last night for our crops, and God's blessed us with wonderful sunshine today. Thanks very much.
At this time, I would like to make introductions of our state senator from the 14th Senatorial District. He also is a friend. I'm proud to have him with us on the stage today. Our state senator, Senator Steve Rowland.
Thank you so much, Commissioner Pelham, or County Executive Pelham, and all of the fine and distinguished guests seated behind me. I was not notified that I would speak today. I thought I would just get to sit up here with this outstanding bunch of people. But it's not hard for me to say something good about Warren County, Tennessee. Every chance I have in Nashville, Tennessee, I tell them that I'm very proud to be from Warren County, Tennessee. Not only Warren County, Tennessee, but McMinnville, Tennessee. And not only McMinnville, but Deverell, Tennessee. There are 2 resolutions that I was able to pass honoring a couple of people from Warren County, Tennessee, and I do not think there's anyone that personifies the spirit of Warren County any better than Ione Youngblood and Miss Molly Lusk. Both of them happen to be teachers. Well, we didn't select teachers, it was more for the people themselves. But Ione Youngblood, the first time she happened to be my high school teacher, the first time I ever walked in that classroom, that lady was seated in a wheelchair. That's the only time that I can recall I remember her as being a wheelchair person. After that, she was just a giant of an individual. And most of you know that although she lived a modest life, she accumulated several millions of dollars and donated them to the Magnus Library over here, the Humane Society, and several other charitable institutions around Warren County, Tennessee. That's the kind of people that we have in Warren County. The other resolution was Miss Molly Lusk, wife of Marvin Lusk, who started the A&E Fair several years ago and active in their community and the whole community. And just a bit about her, and I heard Mark Gwynn, one of her dear friends, now heads up the TBI, at her funeral share this with the crowd that day. When there were children as a school teacher who came to school and she knew they did not have groceries enough to eat, and pardon me if I get choked up a bit today about this, there would be groceries that next day for that children's family. If there were children that came that did not have clothes suitable or fit for the cold weather or whatever the season, the next day there would be clothes for that child's family. Down at Nashville, we get to talk on the Tennessee Radio Network. We get to talk to several of the media people. And they said, yes, we've been to McMinnville several times. We've been to McMinnville a few times. And unfortunately, I told them that the times that those trucks are setting out here, yes, this community may have suffered a tragedy of some sort. But I said, why don't you come up instead of that one time out of 1,000 to those 999 good deeds that's done every day in McMinnville, like I Own Youngblood, like Miss Molly Lusk, and thousands of others. For instance, the Red Cross, just a few months ago, we had 8 burnouts in Warren County, Tennessee, and they responded every time. They're volunteers to help those people. So I'm very, very proud to be from Warren County, Tennessee, and thank you for giving me a small part in this today. God bless you, and we love you very much.
At this time, I'd like to make introductions to another dear friend, and I'm truly blessed, the gentlemen that are on this stage, that I have the opportunity to pick the phone up at will and call them with circumstances that we deal with. I'm very proud to say that not only is this next gentleman our state representative, not only is he a dear friend, but we're related. He's my cousin, and I'm very proud of that. And I tell that everywhere I go. I have yet to be somewhere and hear him tell it publicly over a microphone, and I think I kind of understand why. I have heard him tell it just talking to individuals, but publicly I think he tries to keep it quiet. But I share it with everyone that I can. Very proud of this gentleman, State Representative Charlie Curtis.
Thank you, John. I want to assure you, when I was going through my family tree and I read where Zeke Pella married into the Jones clan, I had a smile on my face, and I'm proud of the fact that we're related. I was sitting here thinking, I'm like Senator Roller, I didn't know I was going to have to say much this morning, but think about this city before it became a city. You know, 200 years ago, they were staking this out, how they're going to lay this town out. They could stand right where we're at today, and they could look to the east and they could see the mountains. They could look to the southeast and see the mountains. They could look to the west and see Short Mountain. And all this beautiful land around and about this city, the rivers. It makes this place special. But the real thing that makes Warren County and McMinnville special, you can see sitting here in this plaza right now, you look around, it's the people of Warren County and McMinnville are what really and truly make it special. You know, there's a lot of things happened in the past 200 years. And as Senator or Congressman Davis said earlier, our military, we owe them a great deal of gratitude because that's the reason we get to celebrate the freedom we got today. We've got men and women on the battlefield today in harm's way, and I challenge each of you to keep them in your prayers daily because that's the most important thing we can do for them. But there's one other individual we owe a great deal more to than our military, and that's our Lord and Savior. If God hadn't smiled upon us, we wouldn't be celebrating like we are today. The only reason we're a free nation today is because God willed it to be that way. He's allowed our military to be successful. As I think he promised Joshua, said, one man will chase 1,000. I don't know if we've been that successful in combat or not, but this country, our military has always been strong, but it's really because of our relationship with God. But I want to congratulate the citizens of Warren County Mac Mill today upon this celebration. This is a lot of history and tradition wrapped up here, and there's a great future ahead for this county. I was thinking yesterday as I was speaking at Midway, these children that are around here this morning, they're going to see more change in the next 20 or 30 years than has taken place in the last 200 years. We've never lived in an age like we're living today, and we've got a wonderful opportunity before us, and let's just sit back and enjoy the day. May God bless each and every one of you now and always. Thank you.
Thank you, Charlie, and at this time I'd like to call to the microphone last, but certainly not least, and also a dear friend who I enjoy working with, State Representative Judd Matheny. Judd.
Thank you, sir. Welcome, everybody, and this is a beautiful day and it's a beautiful country. From here to Vola, to the Elk River, to the Duck River, and proud to say I'm here by choice. I've been fortunate to travel all over the world. This is a wonderful place to live. You are a most resilient people. There's not a single thing that any of us that are up here on stage could do unless you allowed us to do it, unless you enabled us to do it. Politics is bigger than a person, it's bigger than a group of people, it's bigger than a county or a state. We all have to pull together in the same general direction. We have an excellent team up here on the stage. Some of you might need to pinch the congressman because he may not be real. He's in so many places. I have no idea how he shows up as many places as the rest of us that live here, but we appreciate him coming. We appreciate all the other folks here. We appreciate our veterans. We're very proud of the VA facility we're going to get here. If you look at the population of Warren County and the number of veterans we have here, it is absolutely staggering. The amount of sacrifice and contribution this one area has done to the United States of America and the state of Tennessee. We're very proud of all that. We want to always foster that, care for it. It's very humbling to me to be able to serve as one of your state representatives alongside Charlie Curtis, whom I have the utmost respect for. And anything I can ever do to help you, and anything the state can do to help you. We can't be all things and do all things for you. You're going to have to count on the person sitting next to you. And you're going to have to count on your neighbor in order to actually get everything done, but we will help you in any way. Have a great 4th of July, and I'll see you in the crowd in a moment. Thank you.
Thank you, Judd. At this time, I would like to call a young lady to the stage that I'm very proud of and make an introduction. If Dinah will be coming forward, please. Ladies and gentlemen, this is my daughter-in-law, and Diana Wooten Pelham. Diana has come to us from Clarksville. Zach met her at school at Austin P, and he was able to persuade her to leave Clarksville and to come to McMinnville, and I love this young lady, and I am so proud of her, and she's going to sing a song for us right now. Diana?
Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of gray, for purple mountains of majesties above the fruited plain. America, God shed His grace
At this time, ladies and gentlemen, I have a few more introductions that I'm going to make a little later as well in the program, but I'm very honored at this time to introduce to you our keynote speaker for today, the Commissioner of Tourism for the state of Tennessee, Commissioner Susan Whitaker, a veteran tourism marketing industry executive. She was named Commissioner of Tourist Development in January of 2003 by Governor Phil Bredesen and was reappointed by the governor in January of 2007 for a second term. Commissioner Whitaker is a Chicago native and a direct descendant of Tennessee's first governor, John Sevier. She holds a bachelor's degree in communication from Northwestern University. Prior to her state cabinet post, Commissioner Whitaker served as Vice President of Marketing for Dollywood, Tennessee's most visited tourist attraction. Before joining Dollywood, Commissioner Whitaker worked from 1993 to 1997 as Director of Marketing and Advertising for Silver Dollar City. In 2000, Commissioner Whitaker was reappointed to serve on the corporation's president's team, developing strategic plans for all 9 proprietaries of the corporation, including Dollywood. On behalf of Governor Bredesen and the state of Tennessee, it is my pleasure to introduce to you today our keynote speaker, Commissioner of Tourism for the state of Tennessee, Susan Whitaker.
Nice introduction. Thank you so much. I just want to sit down and let Diana sing again. That was phenomenal. And I was excited about coming here anyway because I am a direct descendant. John Sevier is my great-great-great-great-grandfather, and even though we were in Chicago, my dad's family had migrated up there. He was very proud of that fact. He named my sister Deborah Sevier. So everybody in Chicago wondered who Sevier was, but we never wondered, and I knew it would be only a matter of time till I got back to Tennessee. And even though my dad passed about 30 years ago, when I started working for the governor of Tennessee, I know that was no accident, and I know he is smiling about that. So I am so honored to be here on behalf of our governor. Governor Phil Bredesen has just been, to me, one of the most phenomenal people that I've ever met or worked under, and I think he has done a phenomenal job of bringing people together to find sensible solutions for things. He allowed me to come here today because he knows I have a great love for history. Your history is so amazing. Your beauty is so amazing, and I don't know if you're aware, but we have, as our kind of our tourism catch line, tag phrase, Tennessee, the stage is set for you. And that was based on the fact that when we went out and did research across the country, when people heard the word Tennessee, they immediately thought of 2 things. One was natural beauty. They remembered how beautiful this state was, and it didn't matter what part of the state. But they either remembered how beautiful the mountains were, how beautiful the rolling hills were, but they remembered the beauty. The second was our musical heritage and our history, our deep and rich history. That history, your 2 Josephs, Joseph Warren, Joseph McMinn, revolutionary hero, then you have one of the most wonderful governors that's ever served, coming right from here, and I have to mention, being a country music fan, Dottie West. I mean, you can't have it all, can you? You do, right here. All of that, when we talk about tourism, we talk about what's good for for small towns and big cities. And in Tennessee, it is an enormously huge economic driver. Because our sales tax is what drives all of those things that are important to us, funds our schools, funds the medical centers, funds all those things that are important, community centers. You can't print the money. It's got to come from somewhere. And tourism has just been one of those huge economic drivers in Tennessee. In 2006, it was $13.4 billion of direct expenditures, and I just found out this past week it's up to $14.2 billion in 1 year. That is throwing off now $1.1 billion in sales tax revenue. That is why I'm excited to be part of tourism. I have 2 little grandsons. In fact, they're waiting for me at home. They've got a date with Grandma to go swimming this afternoon. They live over in Maryville, but what's important to me is that they have the education that is going to make the difference in their lives and the difference for them as they're citizens of this state. I'm excited to be part of that solution with tourism for those sales tax dollars, then to come into the general fund so that people like the ones that are sitting on this stage, and also I have to say how honored I am to be sitting with Congressman Lincoln Davis. He has just been a tremendous support over in Washington also. But for them then to decide how best to spend those dollars to really make things happen here. We've got a tremendous history here. You've got an incredible heritage here. When you share that with the world, the nursery capital of the world, I love that. That beauty goes out around the world, but we want people to come here and share in that also. So it is a great privilege for me to bring Governor Bredesen's greetings and congratulations, and my personal congratulations to all of you. It is about the people. I want you to know that your county executive and your historian had to chase me down the street to let me know I had just passed the courthouse and needed to park over here. Now, you don't find people, usually they're over there, working on the main thing. They were out there waiting for me. That's the kind of hospitality that all of you show when people come to your town, and that's why this state is known as one of the top 10 states in tourism. That's pretty amazing for a state the size of Tennessee, but not amazing at all because of the heart of the people that are here in Tennessee. So it is my honor and my congratulations to you for a wonderful bicentennial celebration. I'm just so thrilled to be here as you unveil this monument, and I will be clapping right along with you. Thanks for the invitation.
I've asked Commissioner Whitaker to wait just a moment here at the podium because I would like to present to her two of our bicentennial medallions, as they are numbered 1 through 500. We have number 6 and number 7, and I would like to present one of these to you, and also one if you would take back to Governor Bredesen on behalf of the citizens of Warren County. I'd like to present these medallions to you. And also we have a basket over here to the side before you leave today that we want to make sure, and we'll help you load it because it's quite heavy.
Okay,
so we have a basket for you.
I appreciate
Thank you.
it.
Once again,
Thank you.
Commissioner Whitaker. All right, ladies and gentlemen, at this time, I'd like to take just a moment to recognize some more of the individuals that we have on the stage today, and I'd like to pay special tribute and recognition to our city mayors as we think of certainly McMinnville and the county seat, Mayor Royce Davenport. We're so proud to have Mayor Davenport with us. If y'all would recognize him. The city of McMinnville and the role that the mayor has played in this and all of his staff. Mayor, there's not words, and the cooperation that we share and the teamwork that we have. Thank you for everything that you do, not only for McMinnville, but for Warren County. Thank you, sir. Also, I would like to recognize, although health reasons have prohibited him from being with us today, the mayor of Marson, Bobby Prater, and he's having some health concerns, and we would like to keep Mayor Prater in our prayers. I'd ask each of you to do that. And then also, representing Viola and Centertown, we have Mayor Kevin Lawrence, if you would stand there and recognize him. And then this last gentleman I've saved till last for a specific reason, because he just has a place in my heart that I just can't share with you, the place that I hold in my heart. The oldest active mayor that we know of in the United States. In February of this year, he celebrated a birthday, 99 years young and still progressive-minded, still drives into town, comes to my office, speaks about issues in Centertown, things that he wants to see accomplished. Let's recognize the mayor of Centertown. And I heard this said, and I don't know if there's any truth to it, that he said he didn't know if he was going to run for re-election or not because he'd be 104 when that happened. So, oh man, we are so blessed here in Warren County. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are on a time schedule because we have an event planned that I'm very excited about. In fact, I'm seeing them circle in the background as we're going to have a military flyover. At this time, I'd like to call to the podium a gentleman, as I spoke about the volunteers from Warren County, just one of many, Mr. Bobby Cox. He's going to speak to us just briefly about the time capsule. Bobby.
I'd like to just call on our members of our committee to stand and recognize them. When Mr. Pelham asked me to serve on the time capsule committee, we were kind of taken back, but we have 3 other good people that serve on that committee. Miss Mary Robbins over here to my right, Dr. Neil Schultz, and Mr. Ed Parton. I don't see Ed, but Ed served on our committee as well. Our charge was to put things in our time capsule that will be representative of Warren County and McMinnville in 2008. So we didn't know if that box was going to be big enough to put all the things that we wanted to put in it. So we did articles in the newspaper and called on community groups and all other groups to try to find things to put in the time capsule. And there's a long list of those, and I won't put those in words today, but Mary has cataloged all of that. It'll be I think in our state archives in Nashville, and it'll also be here in our library. We have photographs from now and then. One person I would like to recognize by name, Mr. Aubrey Watson, has put photographs of Warren County now and then, and if you have not seen those I think are on permanent display in the Magnus Library, so please take time to go. They're just phenomenal photographs. We also have DVDs with many pictures on them, and we didn't know in 100 years if we'd be able to open DVDs or whoever opened those, so we put instructions on how to get that information off. So we have things like telephone books in there to immortalize names, and yearbooks and things of that type. So at this time, what I would like to do is just Mr. Pelham and Mr. Flatt. I think our committee has completed our charge, and we would like to present the time capsule for Warren County for your safekeeping until the year 2108.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, at this time, I would like to ask our executive committee. I'm going to ask Mr. James Dillon, Mr. Jimmy Haley. Jimmy, thank you for everything that you have done throughout this process, for all the hard work. Jimmy and I have spent a lot of time together, haven't we, Jimmy? A lot of late nights, and I appreciate your efforts so much. I'm going to ask Jimmy and Larry and Mr. Dillon, if you would, to make your way down to the monument at this time. And ladies and gentlemen, we will be doing pictures of the time capsule. The time capsule goes into the back of the base of the monument. Let me give you just a few names here. As we are coordinating here, you see Mr. Joe Lane Howard standing off here to my right, to your left. He is on the radio coordinating with three gentlemen, a Mr. Robert Langford from Lebanon, Tennessee, a Darrell Berry from Camden, Tennessee, and a B.J. Kennemore from Muscle Shoals, Alabama, who are flying vintage World War II aircraft, the Warbirds, who are going to do a military flyover. If you would like to be prepared for this, we have staged this, and they will be coming in from the depot bottom area if you would like to be watching for them to fly over. I'm told that they're probably going to be at about 300 feet when they come over, so we can be watching for that as we unveil our monument. And we also can hear the communication from the aircraft as they are speaking to one another. Ladies and gentlemen, this has certainly been a labor of love, and I would like to again commend this committee for all the hard work that they have done. And just kindly to set this for you, we're going to unveil the monument, and after we unveil the monument, I would like to read something to you about the monument. And as I'm reading, if you have time to look at the monument and be watching for the aircraft, as Mr. Howard is going to call them in, as they fly over, I will stop my reading, and then as the noise ends, then I will continue with the reading about the monument. So at this time, I'm going to charge the three members of our executive committee to go ahead and begin their process of unveiling our monument. Go right ahead. Yes, sir.
You're not adult.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, the beautiful pink marble is a half white oak leaf, remembering that the birthing tree is a white oak. Down the midrib is the name of our county seat at Mingle, symbolizing it as the county seat. Each lobe of the leaf bears the names of the other incorporated cities in Warren County: Centertown, Morrison, and Viola. This leaf represents the vitality and vigor of our county and cities, the renewing that comes each year when leaves appear on the trees, the hope of tomorrow as this leaf canopy grows year by year, reaching upward. It represents the beauty of our county, and the shade that comes with the leaf canopy reminds us that Warren County is a pleasant and friendly place to live. The leaf canopy also provides shelter and protection from the elements, reminding us that Warren County can be a haven for its sons and daughters. The back piece of brown marble represents the trunk of the tree. The trunk connects the deep roots of the tree, and ladies and gentlemen, here's our flower. This is where the strength lies, the stability, the permanence of the purpose. This is where the tree gets its shape. This represents the strength and vigor of our people and how they have helped to shape our county. A reminder of this ties that binds our county and its citizens with the land. Engraved at the top of the piece is an acorn, and below that it reads, "From humble acorn to a mighty oak, Warren County reaches to embrace our future." On the back of this marble piece is a listing of our current county commission, the Bicentennial Executive Committee, the Bicentennial Steering Committee, and the mayors of each of our incorporated cities. This engraving suggests the stability and guidance that our county receives from its elected officials and the strength that is given to this county by countless volunteers, such as the Bicentennial Executive and Steering Committees that have given countless hours in the last 18 months to make the many activities of this celebration a reality. Please take the time to reflect on this beautiful art piece that is our monument to the 200 years of Warren County history and to our testimony to the promise and hope for tomorrow as Warren County reaches to its future. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you, the citizens of Warren County, our Bicentennial Monument. At this time, I would like to ask Diana if she would to come back to the stage, please, for one final song. And after Diana sings once again, we're going to move the time capsule to the back of the base where we will do a sealing of the time capsule. If you would like to have pictures of that ceremony, we will come down off the stage. We will move the time capsule base over to the back, and here is the plaque that will cover the time capsule, giving the date and time for the time capsule to be opened 100 years from now. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, my daughter-in-law, Diana Pelham.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above, from the mountain